And welcome to the I Hate Rappers podcast. I'm your host, Greggy, Westside.
And I'm DJ Z13, and we are in a new location here.
Yeah, a new location for you. We already did two in this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
we also did the two camera setup a little bit differently than we're doing now, though.
We're not in a new location here, but I did want to start this episode off with a quote. This came from Snoop Dogg this morning. When I'm no longer rapping, I want to open up an ice cream parlor and call myself Scoop Dog.
Okay, Snoop Lion.
Do you remember Snoop Lion?
Yeah.
That was actually
I'm old
pretty
enough.
trash album.
Oh, I don't remember the album. I just remember he renamed himself, dropped a reggae album, and then I never listened
The
to
album was it was pretty trash. There's one song that I would say was okay.
Word. So, you start off the day. Let's get something going. Let me hear it.
So let's talk about female rap for a second.
Okay.
So female rap's been taking over.
Love it.
Both inside and outside the city. Yeah, both. That was my question. So
Love it.
when are we going to see your first female rap signee here at Westside Productions?
No clue. I haven't found one that's actually like good in Cleveland that I work with well, that I enjoy their music personally, that I think they're genuinely very talented. And in addition to all that, also has a good work ethic. And that's the biggest issue with just signing any talent just in general, or just even working for somebody just in general. It's, you gotta work hard at it. You gotta be the artist. You gotta be the artist, guys. You gotta do all the business. I was just having a conversation today about playlisting and content creation and content schedules and getting music videos, social media clips done versus just realizing you need that and rushing out a project, which happens quite too often.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's not necessarily just female.
I'm not
rap.
saying that's female.
Okay, well,
I'm saying that's a general.
Yeah.
So in general, getting the male population, which is I want to say 15 times as large at minimum of rap. Yeah. Or music just in general on the indie scene. No. Unless you're a band.
Are you assuming their gender?
Yeah. I mean, what else am I supposed to do? Real talk. Yeah. If there's anybody who is non-male or female gendered, that's dope. Yeah. But if you dress one way or the other and you look one way or the other, everybody's going to put you into a category. So I'm going based off of the pre-assumed category by the general public for their music.
Oh, I'm not hating on you. No,
I know. I just want everybody else to not be a fucking asshole about this shit.
Yeah. Speaking of assholes, is there a rapper of the week this week?
No. Yeah. No. I mean, there was a little incident at this show.
Which one?
One of the ones at No Class.
Okay.
So they had a replacement sound guy. Yeah. And
there was an incident. I forgot about this.
I got some complaints about sound. Mm-hmm. When did you hear about this? Did I talk to you about this?
You showed me everything. Yeah.
Oh, word. All right. So there was a little incident
last night or 2 days ago. Yeah.
2 days ago. I don't know.
I was at your house.
Yeah, 2 days ago then. Yeah. Forgot about that. Was drunk. So yeah, the little incident of, the sound guy wasn't the best. Yeah. He wasn't bad at all. Yeah. But the issue is if an artist complains about a sound guy, I believe, and I think you guys will all believe, and Zach agreed with me, everybody I talked to agreed with me, if you're not there as sound check, and if you do not send master tracks in, or if you do not send in tracks that are completely the same decibel level no matter what, through and through, then you don't complain about the sound being bad. Yeah. You don't. If you don't sound check, you have no way of telling.
Sounds to me like you had a bad performance. That's what it sounds like.
And honestly, I told them that a lot of that is contributed to ticket sales. Yeah. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's always going to be contributed to ticket sales because I will put the most professional quality in as long as the money's there. Mm-hmm. And so will the venue. But the venue lacks in bar sales at our types of shows. And it's hip hop a lot of times. Mm-hmm. It's because a lot of these guys are younger and they're bringing in a young crowd. And yeah, it's great. This venue wants to be a safe space for all genres. It wants to host all genres, all crowds. But the issue is that if you guys do not respect the venue and work just as hard to make sure that the venue gets their cut, just like you're kind of getting your cut of, I guess, fairness in all this, then like they're not going to want you back. They're not going to care. Not that this venue doesn't care, because they do, but whoops, there was shitty sound one time. No one's ever complained about it there before. We cut the venue that had the shitty sound. Like, we did everything we could to put you guys in the best situation possible. Master your music.
And I was actually there about a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
10/22.
Yeah. And
less than a week between this performance. 5 days between these two performances.
Yeah, and as an audio guy myself, I can hear differences, and it could have been that I was sick or something, but the only difference that I noticed from the time I was just there and the last time I was there was that it was a little quieter, and I think it's because I was sick and there's 10 times the amount of people in the room, so it dampened a little bit of the noise. But other than that, it was the same audio equipment, same speakers, same everything that you use every week. So, again, I think it was the performance that they were upset about.
Yeah, if you're selling, nobody on that show sold 20 tickets. Nobody heading into the day even had 15 tickets sold. Only 3 had 10 tickets sold heading into the day. Yeah. And that's what the venue sees, so they have to prep accordingly. If they know they're not going to make money, they have to go with the cheaper option because they can't afford the better option. So if you sell better, then you will get better quality. That's just that. End of day. It really is. It sucks that you're not going to get the best quality every time.
Yeah.
But if you don't put the best quality out there, then why the hell would you get it?
And the argument that was brought up was, if I sold 5 more tickets, I wouldn't have had a different speaker system. And I understand that. But
yeah, well, no shit, you wouldn't. No shit.
If everyone sold 5 more tickets for the whole entire year, then you would have the money to do that.
Mm-hmm. So 100%. If there's 10, 12 artists on the show selling 5 more tickets each, that's 60 per show more. And half of these shows would have sold out then. Because we're at 175-ish. If we get to 250 at that venue, it sells out, technically. And if all the people would actually show up, and this is actually the thing. If you aren't bringing bodies in, but you're selling tickets, that doesn't do anything at all. So, you sold 7, 8 tickets, but, you bought them out. Or, you're credited for 15, but you bought them out. And you had some people come, but not a lot. Okay, everybody has to come. The one show we had 220 something pre-sale, 170 showed up. And that was that was me doing that, marking every single person in. And I would say the margin of error was probably about 5, give or take, each side. 175 max in the building. And that was a show where it was $20 tickets, and I had 11 people missing a $50 meet and greet too. So you think that they're really going to show up to a showcase every time accurately when we're missing 50 people and 11 people who paid $70 minimum? Come on now.
And that show actually had a lot of people outside. I was outside that show, and I remember texting Greg, and there was a lot of people standing outside that show when I pulled up, at least compared to the normal crowd that I've seen there. So
most packed we've had the venue for sure.
Yeah, and so yeah, but that was your rapper of the week. Artist of the week. I had an artist of the week actually. Happened last night last night. We're recording this on a Monday. On Sunday, I do a radio show called The Stamp on Z1079, where we play nothing but underground and up and coming artists from the Cleveland and Ohio area specifically. And I've played a lot of Westside. I played a lot of everyone. But what's crazy is I got a DM last night at about 11. The show ended at 11, and the guy said, "Hey, thank you so much for playing my song. I didn't even know you were going to play it." I was like, "Oh, yeah, no problem. Cool." End of the interaction. Afterwards, I went back on his profile. I was like, where did I know this guy from? So I scrolled up to the top, and about a year ago, he said, "Hey, how much for radio play?" And for those of you that don't know, it's illegal to purchase radio play. It's called payola. And if anyone tells you otherwise, they're lying, and you and them can get fined or potentially go to jail for violation of FCC guidelines or whatever. So, and I told him in the DMs, I said, "Hey, you can't pay for radio play." And what's crazy is I told him, "Hey, you can't pay for radio play, but if your music's good enough, you'll be in my rotation in the future. I'll make sure you get played." Cool. 2 years later, I didn't even realize that we had that conversation. A year and a half, 2 years later, whatever. I played a song just randomly, and it was a cool full circle moment. So that's Payola in a nutshell. And don't ever pay for radio play. You can pay for other types of avenues such as podcasts. You can pay for club promotions all you want. There's apps out there actually that you can pay DJs to spin your music out in the clubs all over the world. So
yeah, and if you do pay radio DJs to do non-radio stuff, there is probably going to be a higher chance that you are spun on the radio. Just so that's out there. So if that situation's out there, don't attack him in the comments saying that he's lying. Just so that's made clear.
Yeah,
like, not supposed to be paid for radio play.
Yeah, so you can't pay for radio play. There's like a firm line, and it just as a personal rule of thumb. So like for example, I clean up music, and make like cleanuts and stuff like that, and I charge X amount of dollars to do so. And a lot of the times, the songs that I clean up and I charge people to clean up, I don't even consider them for rotations. Now, it's not me taking it out of consideration. I consider it the same amount as everything else. It's just that once you get in that gray area, it's so quick that what I've worked so hard for or what you've worked so hard for could come down on a technicality. So
yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, but there's people out there that'll tell you, hey, you can pay and whatever, and they'll take your money. Mm-hmm. And sure, it could be fine for the moment, but in the long run, they or you could get in trouble for something that you didn't even know existed. So just stay away from that. But I just thought that was cool. Full circle moment. So
full circle.
Yeah.
You got one more topic for us?
Those were my two. I can think of one unless you have some.
I don't really have anything except for the show stuff.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen.
So, yeah.
You can pay to get on our podcast.
Yeah, and that is something that you can do legally and business-wise. It's smart to invest in yourself, and whether that's through advertisements or through this or that. And one way to do it is by doing podcast appearances like this.
So the reason that I bring that up is to dive a little bit deeper into why you should pay to get on our podcast or a podcast or for just social media clips in general. So currently we're paying about $30 to $50 a month in editing. So we have a couple episodes come in. We charge, whatever we charge. DM us if you want to know. And from there, we're able to edit our podcast. We're able to pay back the camera, pay back whatever equipment, which, I mean, dude, it would really take us 2 episodes a week for the entire year to pay back for our entire setup.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. So don't think that we're rolling in the dough from these episodes. We're really not. We're investing for the future. So from there, as an artist, it's good to get on because then you have long form content, somewhere between 10 to 20 minutes. Then you also get social media clips from us. So you'll get collab posted with our page, and you would get, I want to say at minimum 5 clips, at maximum 10 clips in that range, just depending on how our software edits our stuff, how our editors edit our stuff, how I edit our stuff, how Zach edits our stuff, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So from there, main thing, with that is that you get the opportunity to have 10 extra posts that you wouldn't have before for a generally low price, posted onto a platform that is respected enough to get onto the red carpet of the Ohio Entertainment Awards, which I know isn't saying all that crazy much because, it's like, like you're doing red carpet work, people do TikToks like that all the time. Like it's not that big of a deal. Well, it is because we are respected by our peers. So you get onto a platform that's kind of verified by at least the community that they're in. And then from there, you get to come and have fun.
Yeah. And you're ultimately it's the same thing as paying for a photo shoot. Or
a music video.
Like I go out and pay for my social content when I need a photo shoot done or this or that. So it's another investment. And I'm not sitting here advertising us. I mean, I am, but like I'm advertising to invest in yourself, period. Whether it's this podcast or another, there's people out there there's podcasts all over that you can pay to be on and get in front of their platform. And I'm sure you guys as listeners and avid watchers of this podcast would like to see people that want to invest in themselves and want to put their money and time where their mouth is. So rather than someone who doesn't. So if there's someone out there that's not willing to put the time and effort, and not necessarily money, but money as well, behind what they're saying, do they really care? And if someone's willing to do all that and come on here and be in front of y'all and care enough to pay to be in front of y'all, like, they do care. So
I'm 100% promoting everybody to get onto our podcast and pay us for sure, no matter what. Yeah. But the message still stays the same, regardless of whether it is our podcast or not, or if it is the podcast form of media or something else. Everything I said can be translated into anybody else's podcast or their business, and it's just something that you kind of want to look into more. Each time you're with somebody, within their, like making a deal, every time you're with somebody making a deal, basically you just want to make sure you know the full scope of things. That's what we offer. I think it's a pretty good deal. I think it's a pretty good amount of things that come with the deal, and I think that there are other podcasts out there that are going to offer way less, but there are also some other podcasts that are going to offer more. There are also some other content creators that are going to offer the same amount of content or more for a reasonable price at minimum, and there's going to be a lot that try and wax the hell out of you. So just be wary about that. Invest in yourself, get on these things, post these social clips, flood your socials with promotional things about you as an artist. If you're going to be dropping a single, get a podcast run going, get a music video, get some snippets to the song, do the whole 9, go hard at it. And I think we should just wrap it up there. I feel like that's a good message to end off on.
Yeah. And also the message of I hate rappers.
And I love artists.
See you.
Bye.